The warning came in the middle of the night. The town crier's voice echoed solemnly through the darkness, his gut belting out the roar of impending doom. His feet flew down the rain-soaked hill, the weight of the message pulling him forward. Somewhere behind him, the bell rang out, its tolling shaking the village from its slumber. Slipping in his fright, the servant bolted through the storm, his heart pounding as he raced to the fleet commander's quarters. All of nature seemed to tremble under what was to come. Thunder rumbled overhead as villagers hurriedly took their positions, preparing for the worst. The enemy was near. Their approach was marked by the thunderous sound of hooves tearing through the soggy soil. Their beasts of burden, undoubtedly, were laden with weapons of war for their cruel intentions. The nearest kingdom lay 2 days' journey north, but these intruders came from afar. Whispers had named them the Sebastian tribe, warriors worthy of fear and respect. Yet the villagers remained undeterred. Fires were stoked for flaming arrows. Cannonballs were stacked neatly by the cannons. Guardsmen stood at the ready, strategically positioned to defend the fortress. Lookouts could see for half a mile up the hill, their eyes scanning the horizon for the first sign of the enemy. Sandbags were reinforced along barriers, while the most muscular men lifted the drawbridge into place. Inside the commander's quarters, the scene was one of quiet tension. He sat surrounded by charts, maps, compasses, and a few of his trusted crew, rough men, weathered by the sea and hardened by battle. Their faces were carved with the lines of time and war, their eyes sharp and ready. The servant's labored breathing could be heard before he burst through the door. Panting heavily, he staggered into the room, soaked to the bone, desperate to deliver his report.
"Master, I beg you, wake at once. They're coming, fast, too fast. The ground trembles beneath their steps. I can't say how many, but the sound, it's like thunder rolling down the hill. A small army, perhaps. But I fear it's worse than that. No one knows who or what they are, but they are near. We must prepare before it's too late."
"Fear not, and hold thy tongue. My men are ample and always ready to defend this fortress. These walls have stood through worse storms than this. Fetch me my armor, and make haste. I shall investigate these strangers at once. If they seek war, they shall find it at our gates."
As Sigvard prepared for the coming storm, his thoughts turned to the strength of those ever ready for his battle commands, the fierce women of his clan.
She's a Viking, fierce and strong. She sails the high seas where she belongs. The wind is howling, the sky has turned black. Lightning cracks and there's no turning back. She's got fire in her eyes, a storm in her veins. Brutal are the conditions, real is the pain. She's the rage, she won't be caged. She's a Viking, fierce and strong. She sails the high seas where she belongs. The wind is howling, the sky has turned black. Lightning cracks and there's no turning back. She's got fire in her eyes, a storm in her veins. Brutal are the conditions, real as the pain. She's the rage, she won't be caged. The ship goes wild, but her grip is tight. With every wave she readies for the fight. She's carved from iron, forged by the flame. A legend rising, she's
Once again you seek to bring chaos to these waters. It was always your full head of steam that prevented peace upon these shores. You wish to bend the seas to your will, to twist the natural order, and make these waters your domain. But know this, the sacred realm will not yield. I guide these vessels past every tempest, around each hidden boulder, and steer them clear of icebergs. These ancient sea breezes belong to the tides of time. You're out of your depth.
Nonsense. My dominion charts the waters of every land. These sea breezes may be ancient, but my methods are new. You know that I rule all of Skull Island, and all the souls that have died upon these waters are buried there. Mortals, captured in my net. They cling to their hopes. I am a fisher of men, and I have true power and shall rule these seas forever. Even your winds will bend before me.
To those who threaten this kingdom, I am the shield that guards its people, and the blade that delivers justice. I stand here, not just as a warrior, but as the will of my people. Turn back now, or face the storm of our fury. You have until the sun sets to make your choice. If you take one step closer, you will meet your end. Be gone, Firestorm, from my sight. Though we have a peace treaty that has lasted for centuries, impatience is rising within me. I may yet bring a penalty to bear upon you.
You shouldn't make threats, Lilith, even in the best of times. We will meet again. Come prepared.
Master, shall I make preparations for our invasion of the realm? Our plans have been laid out for some time now. We must show those Sky Wardens you are not to be threatened. We can cross the barriers on the next full moon and have our revenge for the loss of the souls claimed by the sacred realm.
Quiet, Lucinda. Lilith is as clever as she is beautiful. Her Sky Wardens are powerful and cunning. We must cross the sacred realm without detection. The Keeper of Time, who rules both worlds, severely punishes anyone caught breaking the law. The emerald orb that rests energized in Deadman's Cave won't bring me the power I seek, but it will bring power closer to my grasp and aid my plans. Lucinda, fetch the emerald orb and bring it to me.
Vorak, you know the caves at the cliffs better than any. The emerald orb rests deep within their shadows, guarded by the ancient spells of the dead. You are to retrieve it and bring it to me.
The caves hold many dangers, mistress. The spirits that linger, they do not take kindly to intruders. Even the most cautious can meet their doom. My cousin, Kragar, ventured into Deadman's Cave long ago, seeking favor from the Ancient Ones. He traversed the catacombs of the Master's underworld and became lost in the twisted passages. Only his hollow armor was found.
Do you fear the dead, Vorak? Or has the mist dulled your loyalty? The orb is no mere trinket. It is the key to Firestorm's dominion. Fail me, and you will wish the spirits had taken you instead. You shall do as I command. Take Zegrath with you. I shall give you both invisibility cloaks, so that you shall go undetected, and leave at once.
The first day of Captain Yuto Takahashi's journey was one of calm winds and familiar sights. He paid his respects at the ancient temple, seeking peace and guidance before embarking on this voyage. Yuto's ship had been blessed by the sages at the bustling docks of Nagasaki. It was filled with merchants and traders. Yuto Takahashi stood tall on the deck of his magnificent ship, the wind gently caressing his armor as it passed. 10 days ago he departed Nagasaki, Japan, bound for Shanghai, China's bustling port. As he and his crew sailed toward the horizon, he thought of his 2 daughters and his beautiful wife, the other strong vessel in his life. The captain's reflection on his family included his 3 nieces who lived in Shanghai, China. They are Kohana, Sakura, and Yumi.
I wonder how my brother's daughters are doing. Kohana, Sakura, and Yumi. They've grown into young women. They are strong like their father. Each of them carries his fierce spirit in their way. I'm sure they've inherited more than just his strength and name. Their good character is to be commended. It's been so long since I've seen them. I wonder how they've changed.
Uncle Yuto should arrive in Shanghai before winter. Grandfather is growing impatient. Our family meeting approaches, and he expects Uncle to settle down. As the eldest son, Yuto must marry soon. But I fear he's already made his choice. And it isn't a wife, it's the sea.
Those thugs were lucky to walk away with only scratches this time. I can't keep working as Auntie's bouncer at her restaurant. The cousins always throw money my way when they need someone to rough up a few idiots. I need a way out. With the family meeting coming up, I may tell Auntie it's time for me to walk away for good.
I've always admired Uncle Yudo's strength. These past few years, he seems distant. He has been preoccupied with his world of the high seas, pirates, and faraway seashores. We have a family meeting in a few days. I wonder if he will realize how much has changed while he's been away.
Captain Yuto to safely deliver a jade artifact to an influential merchant in Shanghai. His vessel departed Nagasaki, Japan 10 days ago, bound for China's bustling port. But now the sea had turned hostile. Gale-force winds howled across the deck, and the ship's sails groaned under the relentless strain. The once tranquil waters had transformed into a battlefield of towering waves and violent gusts. The temperature dropped sharply as a thick, creeping mist rose from the sea, shrouding their path in a veil of uncertainty. In the distance, the ominous silhouette of Skull Island loomed, dark and foreboding. Tales of sea monsters, ancient curses, and the wrath of a force known only as Firestorm haunted the dreams of even the bravest sailors. Now, those stories seemed all too real. The ship shuddered violently, as though some unseen hand was pulling them toward the island's jagged rocks. Crew members exchanged uneasy glances, their fear palpable in the cold, damp air. It felt like the atmosphere was thick with the weight of ancient, dark magic, an invisible force urging them closer to the awaited peril. Suddenly, the helmsman fought against the wheel, his voice strained with urgency. It was as though the very sea had turned against them, pulling the ship closer to the menacing island. Unlike anything they had felt before, a strong current pulled them with increasing force, straining their sails and testing the crew's resolve. The waves rose higher, crashing violently against the hull, while a thick, unnatural mist obscured their view. Panic edged into his voice as he struggled to hold course, realizing the ship would soon meet its doom on the unforgiving rocks if they did not act.
Captain, the wheel's fighting me. It's as if the sea is dragging us toward the island. The current, it's like nothing I've ever felt. It's pulling us in, harder with each second. The sails, they're straining, Captain. We're losing control. The waves are rising fast, crashing against the hull. I can barely see past the mist. It's thick and unnatural. It feels like the island is calling to us. I don't know how much longer I can hold her. We'll be on the rocks if we don't change course now. Captain, what are your orders?